Welcome back to the stream. My name is Antonio from Melanated Tech. Been involved in many different forms or facets of tech. And months ago, I dived into cloud engineering, which led me to RPA, Robotic Processing Automation. So I decided to go down this route of RPA, Robotic Processing Automation. I'm learning the skills, I'm developing the skills. I'm going to be building many different robotic processes. But first, I want to start with this first video, something very simple. Ones that have been involved in RPA, they may know what this is. It's just a simple message box. But I just want to start to show my journey and what I'm learning. I've learned much more, but I kind of want to give a basis as I develop and build. I want to document my growth, my process in development and building. So we're going to start with a message box. I'm using UiPath Studio. There's many different RPA tools, but my chosen one to develop and learn on is UiPath. I'm in UiPath Studio community, which is really free to learn. This is not a commercial development tool. This is more just to learn. It's a community tool to get well knowledge with everything that comes with UiPath without having to pay money up front. It's just more of a training tool. We're going to start here. This is the UiPath Studio. And we're going to develop that message box. We're going to run it, and I'm going to show you just something really basic. And this is probably one of the as basic as you can get with developing these robotic processes. So first, we're going to start a new project. So we're going to click on process, and we're going to name it. I'm just going to put simple message box. I got simple message box in here. You can write a description right here, but I'm not going to really go into a whole lot of that. I'm just doing something really, really simple. I like to designate where I store my projects at. So we're going to pick the area where I'm going to store them at. So I do have them in the C drive. So let's go there and development and UiPath. This is where we're going to store the message box here. Now you can use these different aspects, the cross-platform, but we're going to use Windows. We're going to keep it simple. We got C#. And we're going to stick with the basics. We're going to create our studio so we can build our project. All right, so now we have our main sequence open. I have my UiPath Studio set up significantly the way I desire it to be set up. If you're launching something brand new or a brand new UiPath Studio, it may look a little different. You may have a box over here, a box over here. I put all mine as tabs on the side. I just like to have a bigger view to be able to see what I'm kind of doing. But it still is the same. I just have it set up a little different. But the first thing you have to do is, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a sequence. So I'm going to drag and drop. The good thing about UiPath, for the majority of it, is drag and drop to get started. So that's kind of where I'm starting at with this. This is a sequence, and what you do with UiPath, you develop different phases of the bot to move within the way it's set up. So I can set up another sequence down here and I can continue building, or I can build all my processes within the sequence. But again, I'm not going to go deep into it right now. I'm just sticking to the basics. We're going to just do a simple message box, which I have right here. Now, the activities is where I get all this information. And just to give you something else before I go a little further, if I go to project, project shows dependencies. These are what I have access to within the activities to be able to do what I do within my robot, my UiPath robot in the studio. But we're going to go back to activities, and again, we're going to just do a simple message box so you can see how it is. I drop that in there, and I have my message box. You have these properties over here. This is just another way and gives us more information on doing different message box and all that. Not going to go deep into that on this video. We're just going to keep it simple. We're just going to make a message, and we're just going to say, let's say this is a simple message. That's it. We're just doing something real simple. I'm going to run it, and what's going to happen is it's going to be a box that pops up, and it's going to say, this is a simple message. And that's all it's going to do. Now, if there was any error, you'll see different little error signals in the corner, but the ones that you've seen, you see it went away. It should be good to run. We'll get into the debugging and all that too eventually. But again, we're going to make this simple. Let's just run this simple sequence. And it goes through a process of validation and all that. It goes through this process, and then it'll run itself, and you'll see it. Now it's almost finished, and it's going to run itself. It's compiling the activity, and then it should run itself. All right, now you'll see a message box pop up shortly. See, this is the message box. You see message box, you say this is a simple message. So that's really all it is to a message box. Now you can change this also, and I'll show you that really quick. If I click on this and I go to properties, you see this right here. I can change this if I wanted to. So I want to say simple message, and it updates. So next time it runs, you'll see simple message. And there's so much more you can do, but this is just a basic idea of it. Now I can publish it also so that I can run it through a robot, which it'll run through this assistant robot. And you can see I have one right here. And we can see a job that has already ran. So we go back to automations. You can see this. And this is another one that I did, just real simple. And again, if I hit run, it'll run. It'll just run. I don't have to go in here and do all that. I can run it right here from this UiPath assistant. But that's just basic outlook on how this works. We're going to do more. So stay tuned and stay plugged in. And we got more coming to you soon.